Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new video right here on Floki. It's been a while since I covered this. Okay, it's been a couple of months, I think at least, but I wanted to cover it this morning. We've actually seen some momentum coming into Floki. I know a lot of you are interested in Floki, so that's also a reason why I wanted to revisit it. And my feeling is saying that we can see some good price action on Floki relatively soon, as long as the conditions remain the same, right? And with the conditions remaining the same, I'm mostly talking about Bitcoin continuing to form a local bottom, as we have been doing here on the higher time frames, and that we're going to get a rate cut tomorrow, okay? Which at this point of time is the highest probability. We have about a 90% chance that we are going to get a rate cut, but that still leaves about a 10% chance that we are going to get a rate pause, which would be bearish, and then getting more bullish momentum for cryptos is going to be quite tough. But okay, so let's get right into it. Floki specifically. So Floki has been consolidating basically since the 20th of November, when we formed that bottom, where we formed a balance right here between 5,000. I'm going to call it 5,000, but you know what I mean, right? It's 0.00005, but after all the decimals, it looks like 5,000, so it's a little bit easier to reference it that way. And if you're looking at futures contract prices, it's obviously times 1,000, right? So I think then it's like 0.05, because those future contracts bundle 1,000 Floki tokens into one contract. But okay, so technically we are still in that range, and that matters, and I'll tell you why in a moment. But within that range, we've actually seen the highest volume spike in a very, very long period of time. The last time we had a volume, the last two times was the 20th of October. Back then, we actually had a massive spike, as you can see right here. Hopefully, the continued price action goes a little bit better than this. And then the second time was right here, the 4th of November, when we also formed a local bottom and afterwards rallied about 17%. So that was pretty good. So high volume. And this time it was not high volume at a bottom, it was high volume within the range, right? So you can also see those candles, those lightened candles. That's my custom indicator that shows momentum coming in. So we actually have momentum coming in, which is a good thing. We also had that right here, the 25th of November, and then afterwards we also rallied slightly higher. Obviously, again, we want more than that, but the volume right now is also higher than that. And then outside of that, we've also seen Floki outperformance in the markets in the last couple of days, which is interesting, right? You can see it's underperforming right now, but that's obviously because it outperformed earlier this morning. So all of that is quite interesting. And then you can also see here on the lower time frames that we're respecting support very well, right? So we had that high volume move. Got a liquidation spike into the 30-day rolling VWAP. Very strong resistance level. That's a resistance level strong enough to push the price all the way down, which it did. But then we found support at the 7-day rolling VWAP, and we instantly tested that selling, those sellers again, right? I mean, we instantly tested the point of control here in the fair value gap, testing whether sellers or shorters were still interested in selling right there. But what this higher momentum tells me, what this outperformance tells me, and what in general these conditions of Bitcoin forming a local bottom mean, to me, is that I think we can break out. It's a bit based on my gut feelings of seeing outperformance like this, seeing volume like this, and having traded Floki quite a bit. But I think, first of all, it is most likely, as long as the conditions, like I said, stay relatively the same, I think it's most likely that we will eventually be able to break above our critical resistance level, the 30-day rolling VWAP at 5,100, and that we will be able to get a move up. And when we're talking about a move up, my initial price target would probably be this area right here, around 55 and 5,600. It's a conservative price target, but in these market circumstances, you have to be conservative. The thing, though, which I do want to say, is that I do expect this breakout. When we are going to get this breakout, to me, is still a little bit uncertain. And there's two reasons why I think that's uncertain. First of all, of course, it's the interest rate decision that we have tomorrow that usually induces some de-risking, aka bearish pressure. And then outside of that, the seller's conviction was tested today, and the initial test was actually pretty good. As in pretty bad for the price action, but pretty good by the sellers. Like, there is conviction there in that area. We got a pretty strong rejection right there, high volume. And then we have some imbalances left lower. So I would actually say short term, even though I expect a breakout, I would say short term it is a little bit more likely that we'll push down, stay in this consolidation, and then maybe later in this week, maybe next week, we can break out. But I'll keep you updated on that. For now, I think that's everything you need to know. So thank you for watching. Hopefully it was valuable for most of you. But that's it. Thank you. Take care and bye.